Hey, it's Webs here, and it's time to build a snowman with a revisit of an old deck, Freeze Hero Power Mage. I find it kind of funny that last set I tried to make this deck actually work before there was actually a cohesive strategy between the two styles of deck of Freeze Mage and Hero Power Mage, and now that we have some additional cards that actually support both of them in the same deck, this deck actually has seen a big improvement. The idea behind this deck is to buff up your hero power as much as humanly possible while also controlling the board for your frost spells, and then you finish off your opponent with a Fire Eye or a Magister Dawngrasp, which has been changed for the better for a deck like this where Wildfire actually keeps its effect even after you play your Magister Dawngrasp. Something that actually comes up with the improved hero power from this hero card is the fact that Reckless Apprentice will actually scale with the Honorable Kill in the mid cast of its battle cry, which is something that actually can keep your opponent off guard. With that being said, the most important card to keep in your opening hand is Wildfire. It's a card that you don't need to worry about anymore because of the changes to Dawngrasp. Other cards you want to keep in your opening hand are cards that will either draw you into more cards in your deck, or have a chance to generate you another Wildfire, such as Wand Maker. This card could be replaced with Wand Thief if you really felt like it, but I just didn't want to have to worry about the combo. Tour Guide is also a great card to keep in your opening hand, just because then you can a way to instantly use your Wildfire if you happen to draw into it on your turn 2. That being said, let's go into some games. Alright, time for a game against Demon Hunter with the 1000 win portrait actually for Demon Hunter. I don't think I've actually seen that much. Okay, so we have Wildfire in our opening hand. That's pretty good with the Wand Maker, just in case we get a second copy of Wildfire off of that. Doesn't matter too much. That is not a top deck we want to see this early. Going to use Wildfire. Okay, so this doesn't actually tell me what they are. If they just hero power. That again is not something that we want to see this early into the game. Okay, let's see what we get here. Another Wildfire, that's actually really good. They kill our Wand Maker, which is fine. Well, we can use Wildfire and then our hero power to 3 damage. Interesting. Trying to think of what type of Demon Hunter besides Fell Demon Hunter actually still uses that weapon. Oh, we either can put board presence or just ping face. Ping face is the easiest way to do this though. Don't want to give them any targets on board if we can help it. If they are Fell Demon Hunter, that is. Okay, Sigil Runner. Again, we're not getting much information out of them. Are they Attack Power Demon Hunter? Is that actually a deck? Are people actually playing Attack Power Demon Hunter? If it is a deck, then why not use the quest line? Just so you can discount all the hero power cards. Or hero attack cards. Well, we can just hero power and build a snowman, to be honest. Sure, if they kill our snowman with hitting it with their weapon, they freeze for a turn, which kind of delays their strategy anyways. And we do have a turn 6 play now, so. Oh, Proving Grounds. I honestly forgot Proving Grounds was a card. Well, the good news is we can just use our Apprentice and kill their entire board. Except for the thing with that has or we could actually use the Cone of Frost and just attack. Oh, I was saying the card with Dormant on it. Well, that was kind of a waste for them if they have no way to unfreeze themselves or do 1 additional damage. We might need to use our hero card next turn, even though we're not going to have a Mask of Cthulhu on it. Okay, Eye Beam, that's not what we want to see. Or we could actually just try to put as many minions down as humanly possible, so we can try to avoid the awakening of that minion. Running to Cone of Cold, then just going to put down a Apprentice, just so it will eat up more damage. Now we're dangerously low on HP, but if they overextend, we should still be fine. Okay, Fell Summoner. I'm assuming most of their hand probably has demons in it, but we could just stall it out by using Cone of Cold. And then use Build a Snowman, and then go face. If they have an Inquisitor in hand, plus any type of attack increase, we lose. But if they don't, we just win. Ooh, second one of those. It's actually something that I didn't think about you doing with Proving Ground. Honestly, that's one of those cards that I keep forgetting about, and I want to do something with it, but there's only so many ways you can actually make Proving Grounds work. Oh, so we just win the game because of our Fire Eye. Alright, time for a game against Priest. Now this hand isn't the worst, but it isn't the best either. Going to get rid of one of the Dungeoneers and Brain Freeze. Drawing into Dawngrasp, which is pretty bad. Then also drawing into the Build the Snowman, which isn't the best in this matchup, especially because it's Questline. That is the best top deck that we could have possibly seen. Gotta love when the game makes your decisions for you. Okay, just going to put down one maker. Okay, so they're a Death Rattle variant of Questline. I mean, it makes sense. Gonna play down Build a Snowman. The other idea would have been to play a Dungeoneer, just so we could have drawn something out of the deck. But Priest shouldn't have that many ways to deal with a 3-drop. Well, that's a card I did not expect. And that's a top deck that we definitely wanted here. There's a few ways we could do it. Play the Dungeoneer, then play the Brain Freeze, or we could have did the Primordial Studies. If Grand Finale actually counted the ones that you've summoned off of card effects, then this would have actually been a pretty cool idea for a Grand Finale deck. Get rid of all of our freeze elementals. Okay, so one maker. Just going to see what we get. A second Primordial Studies, which does us nothing here. We're just going to point out a tour guide. Trying to minimize the amount of hand space we have just because of Arcane Intellect. Well, that's interesting. Well, we can Hero Power, and I attacked with the wrong minion there for trading, but oh well. Then we'll just use the Primordial Studies to use it. Gonna grab one of her. Gonna grab the second copy of her, because maybe we can draw into our Mask of Cthulhu with 2 additional damage that keeps just coming back to us as long as we have minions in the deck. And they kill our entire board. That's interesting. It's not useful this turn, but it's interesting to say the least. I'll put her down, Hero Power, and then just put the Flurry down, just so I don't waste any mana here. Okay, so they're going to heal a little bit. Psyche Split. Can you stop silencing our shit? Or preventing us from doing actually anything? I'm gonna play our hero card. We don't get the Mask of Cthulhu, but oh well. We do get a trigger on its honorable kill though, so that's what we actually wanted. Okay, so next turn they'll probably either have a Soul Mirror down or a... Actually, it'd have to be a 5 cost. We haven't seen a 5 cost yet. Getting another honorable kill. It's going to go face. Just going to see if we can actually make this stick for once. Play multicaster. Should draw us 3. And there's the Master of Cthulhu. Now, do we get to keep our spell damage or not? Okay, Claw Machine. Spirit Guide. Hate how consistent that actually makes this deck. It's a card that I didn't expect it to make Questline proofs as consistent as it is. And what... I get it. There's a lot of people running decks that have AoE board buffs now, or some type of way to buff up a bunch of minions at the same time. But really, Shard of the Naru, who runs this? Well, I guess it didn't matter that we had 2 of them. We are not getting any reoccurring spell damage. Though we are going to hit face for 8, which is incredible. 1 off of lethal. But I honestly don't think 1 off of lethal matters much if we have 8 hero power. What are they shuffling? Like, I get it. They can cycle through their deck a lot more if they have both of those copies, but 8 hero power is unstoppable. Alright, time for a game against Paladin. Now this is kind of an interesting hand. We do have a bunch of draw power, but I don't think it's actually needed. I'm going to keep the Arcane Intellect, just because it's the most consistent of the draw power that we had there. I'm going to put a Tour guy down and just pass the turn. Talking about a class that you can't tell from the opening lineup what the hell they're playing. Paladin. Paladin is that class. It feels like 9 out of 10 of the decks are all the exact same opener no matter what you play. Well, that's interesting. I didn't know Paladin was actually running that card. Doesn't really do anything against us, per se. I should have used my hero power first. Oh well. That was a stupid mistake. The fact that they keep playing that down and it doesn't do much against us is kind of annoying, but them wasting it now is better than them wasting it later. Just going to build a snowman. Alright, are we going to see a moment of truth? Oh, Overlord. Interesting, so it's probably just hand buff. Wildfire, that's exactly what we wanted to see. Going to ping that. Then we can do Wildfire next turn, and then ping it again, since it can't attack this turn. Well, that is not something I wanted to see. Well, we can keep it freeze locked actually pretty easily here. Yeah, just gonna hero power it, draw 3, or 2 I mean. Because looking at our hand, we have like 5 ways to freeze it out. It can stay on the board as long as it wants, as long as it can't hit me. Bannerman, card that got nerfed, but it hasn't seen any change at all in its deck. Okay, so that makes it a little bit more annoying, but we can just attack, use the Reckless, and then instantly freeze again. Let's see what we get here. That is a perfect card to get there. Didn't want to waste the flurry if we had only one target on board, to be honest. I just realized Amplified Snow Flurry and Flurry both exist right now currently in Standard. Cards that don't matter for 300. As long as we can literally keep everything frozen, we're perfectly fine. And then there's our Wildfire. Just going to ping that. And draw 3, I think. Using one of our Brain Freezes, because we have 2 more in the deck. Who needs Freeze Shaman when you have a classic Freeze Mage? Okay, so Varian. I haven't seen that card played in a little bit. It does confirm it is hand buff. But the Varian doesn't even matter, given our hand. I don't know why I did that. There was no point. It didn't have Divine Shield. Okay then. This isn't going to matter because we have 3 damage on your hero power. Unless they have some way to heal. And they don't, so just ping face, I guess. Alright, now that we're through some games, let's discuss my final thoughts on the deck. So overall, this deck did a lot better than it used to do. While sure, it did have ways to finish off the game through your Fire Eye, you no longer have to run something like Potion of Illusion to copy your Fire Eye so you can finish off your opponent. That way, you have plenty of ways now in this deck to either copy or generate additional copies of Wildfire, and because the hero power on Magister Dawngrasp actually scales infinitely. After the changes to Magister Dawngrasp, this is actually the perfect home for the card, and is something that I actually predicted when I saw the card revealed. But the card at first didn't actually work the way that I expected it to, which is why I would say after the changes, this is a great home for it. There isn't much that I would actually change about this deck if I was to playtest it more. There is one card, however, that might not make the cut, but I wanted to keep it in the deck just because I like the idea behind the card, which is build a snowman. The idea behind having the ability to have a 3-drop, a 6-drop, and a 9-drop is actually pretty cool. You usually never get to use the 9-drop, but having the 3-drop and the 6-drop make your opponent have to deal with that freeze minion pretty quickly, and it serves as your way to actually control your opponent's hero if they have a weapon equipped. Because besides Deep Freeze, which I'm not running in the deck, and I didn't see a reason for it, There is only one other way you can actually interact with your opponent's hero, which is spawning the ice shards off of the Frostweave Dungeoneer. But that's not the most consistent way, and Build a Snowman is a lot more consistent. You probably could replace this card, however, with the Vipers, just so you could get rid of the weapon, or you could also replace it with Ice Barrier if you wanted to deal with more minion-based matchups. However, this was my way to deal with weapons, and that's why it was still in the deck in the end. And overall, I could easily recommend this deck. It isn't bad. It catches a bunch of people off guard just because they don't expect a Shattering Blast. Most people aren't running Shattering Blast in a deck like this. And it is an easy way to actually just destroy a lot of your opponent's minions if you can freeze out their board quick enough, which is actually a lot more consistent with some of the new support that we saw in this new set. And with that being said, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and until next time, bye bye.